mission launch. It ain't a Friday if there's no roll call Friday, huh?
Nope.
Well, the line's up.
Yes, sir.
They look good. That's as expected. We'll talk about it on the way up.
Alright.
That's on. Houston, this is Boston speaking. Mission launch for Roll Call Friday in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The Book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the Book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
What's up, boys and girls? How are you? Welcome into a Roll Call Friday edition of the Bostonian versus the Book. He is Dave Sharapan. I'm Matt Perrault. We are live on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the Book and on Twitter. A little bit later than normal. Little test to see we're testing some things out because of what happened on Wednesday and Thursday and this algo thing going on with Twitter X. We got to test some stuff out. But we are here. You are here. Brigade is here. Live chat's flowing. Everyone rolling in. We got not one, but two guests coming up. It is Friday. That means it's a Rithmm Friday. James Santore from Rithmm coming in. NBA player props. He's loaded with them. He's all excited. Got a bunch of stuff to talk about. What's going on with Rithmm. Golf's about to be launched at Rithmm. We're all really excited. We got that with James coming up in about 10 minutes. And then the topic that everybody is losing their mind over this morning is going to be discussed with our friend Jim Root from the Action Network. He will be on talking about whether or not we're going to have a massive, major, ridiculous scandal in the sports betting, handicapping, fixing world of Temple UAB.
Whoa.
How are you, sir? Welcome to a Friday.
How you like my hat?
The Resorts World lid. It's nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Where'd you
Getting
pick
ready.
that up?
Yeah, because I believe it's 2 weeks from today.
Or yesterday.
Will be the second day that we'll be live at Resorts World, because yesterday will be the first.
Yes.
On the 21st of March.
Yes.
And the 22nd of March, the live show will commence. The plan is 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. We ain't got nothing else to worry about. We've both got informed today that our services will not be needed that day by anyone else. So it is like an exclusive. Just us. All of us. Not just me and you and but the BVB Brigade.
Yeah.
Whoever's coming, we'll see you there. Whoever's not, make sure you'll be watching, because the chat will be flowing. There'll be people there. There's people coming. There's Papa Shots. There's wall-to-wall screens.
Yes.
Apparently there's going to be drink specials.
Yes.
There might be a, what did they call it? A tower of something?
Beer tower. A basketball beer tower.
Something called a beer tower. I don't know. But all of that will commence after today.
You guys may hear, if you hear a mouse running around, it's my daughter who's waiting to be picked up by her friend here in 5 minutes. She's literally biting her fingers at the moment with nerves because she's trying to stay quiet.
Spring break. Spring break.
Disaster.
Boys and girls. Parents.
Spring break is disaster. By the way, CBW, he's going to keep you abreast of what's going on with your daughter's Felician University. They're playing the 15th ranked team in the country today, Dave.
Thank you very much for that.
It's not going very well, though.
They went to Shippensburg yesterday. Big Consig had a tough start. She was pitching good and then gave up a grand slam. They lost the first game of the doubleheader yesterday. Lost both games. They're playing today. Getting ready to go to Florida to play next week. I will not be going, at least as of right now, unless the wife surprises me.
Jimmy Jack, you're right. Vegas does never have school. They just never have school. I mean, she's off school today. It's a Friday. Spring break started today. And when I was going to school, we never had Teacher Development Day the day before spring break.
They're not. They don't miss. They don't miss. Okay? They don't miss.
It's incredible.
Unlike everybody that bet UAB yesterday. They didn't miss.
No, they did not.
At all on any number. We'll get to that in a second. Right now, as the chat's starting to roll in, because we beat everybody to usually the 11:30 late arriving crowd, the noon rush Pacific, 3:00 Eastern. They're coming. They'll be here. Let's show them what we got in the chat. Just the city, boys and girls. Just the city. You know what's coming. Roll Call Friday.
Mm-hmm.
In about 75 minutes, we'll ask for the 3-digit area code. But right now, I need the city and the age. Right? We need the age. If you can put your age, there's no age shaming. There's no unit shaming. Not on this show. Not with our people. So come in there. Let them know where you're at, what the temperature is, and what your age is would be great. They're flowing right there. I mean, the states, boys and girls, the state number today, we need over 41. All right. The number today, March Madness, live shows coming, all this stuff happening, a huge crowd on Wednesday, and we still don't know why. But we thank you.
Giftville 37.
Giftville.
Addis.
Giftville. This guy changes the name of the joint he lives in every week.
Well, Gift goal in the first 10 minutes is why he's our hockey better.
The
Corey
people
Macbeth from Omaha. Coach McDermott signs a 4-year extension this morning to
You
make
were
him
excited about that, weren't you?
a
I saw that.
coaches in the Big East. Happy for my guy.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Good to see him getting locked down to 2029 to be the coach of the Blue Jays.
Yeah,
I love it.
So
It's good stuff. Okay,
let's
score
get to this
update.
rundown. Let's go.
Score update for you guys real quick here. Okay, so Indiana State, Missouri State did both trends in the Valley I told you guys about for Arch Madness, both cashed. First game under, second game for the team that wins the first game, bet them in the first half. They covered the first half number, 6.5, 6, depending what you got last night.
Bam.
Missouri State covered it. So
Bam.
both bets I talked about on the show next year. If you guys don't have this, I actually would recommend this. I started doing this. Get a notebook, write down betting trends for things that happen once a year. So you know when it comes around, or on your phone.
Whoa!
What? What's wrong with that?
There's some married guys that might take offense to that about writing stuff down that happens once a year, if you know what I'm saying.
We don't write that stuff down. That's
Title shots
that's a depressing thing. We write that down. You just
once or twice a year.
Yeah, you just
Birthday and New Year's. If your birthday's in December, it's a hell of a month. But
or
man, that stinks.
steak and but little ears are around. So
Fridays, brother. Oh my God.
so there's that. So Missouri State covered the first half number against Indiana State. It's 52-43. Now, we'll start the conversation about UAB this way. Dave, did you know that I got 8.5 last night for the Sycamores today?
You got 8.5.
FanDuel, 8.5 last night.
I actually, I mean, can I let him in on the cheat code? I do know that because I talked to you last night.
So do you know what the closing number was?
I'm going to look right now, sir. Indiana State closed 12.
Investigation.
Oh boy.
Why? Stop it all. They closed. We oh no. We had 3.5 points of line movement, Dave, in 2 hours. Oh no. What are we doing?
Well, it's not a story unless it wins.
If they win by 20, everyone knew. Everyone had to have known the number moved. Oh my God. Start it up, front page story. Investigate. This is horrible.
What
Everybody.
if they only win by 8?
Oh no. Then everyone knew. All the books knew. Vegas knew. Oh, Vegas knew. Vegas got everybody. They were so smart. Vegas knew what to do with the number. It was a trap line.
Trap. Oh no.
This is, if you're not up to speed yet as to what's going on, let me
Here we
explain to you where we are, because I am fired up about this story.
Oh boy.
Sorry, Madeline, you're gonna see your dad. My daughter's looking at me like I'm insane right now. This is awesome. She hasn't seen Nuts Dad in a long
Wait
time
till
on
she
these things.
comes to the live show on
Yeah.
Thursday the 21st.
So yesterday, UAB and Temple played on Senior Day.
They did.
The game was 2 at open.
It was.
6 a.m. Bookmakers come on in. Day shift rolls on in. They go, we're getting hit kind of good. All right, go to 2.5.
Yep.
3, 3.5, 4, 4.5,
Move
5.
the number.
Everyone's betting on UAB.
Move the damn number.
Betting it.
Yep.
So here we go. Everyone's having these conversations. Here come the tweets. Here come the conspiracy theorists. Here come people who are running to Twitter.
Yep.
And they start to drop these numbers about like, oh my gosh, wait, this is bad. This is bad. Here we go. This is really bad.
Really bad.
So it comes out. Here we go.
Here we go.
This game got bet and got bet and got bet. So here's where we go. Final score is a 20-point win for UAB. After the game, everyone's starting to get very concerned.
It was 28, actually. If
28 points.
Keeping the numbers. 100 to 72.
Unusual betting activity related to Temple and Alabama Birmingham men's basketball game. Quote, might be looked into deeper, according to industry watchdog U.S. Integrity. The company's CEO, Matt Holt, confirmed to Sports Handle.
Yes.
SI, a source in the gambling space, says U.S. Integrity has been monitoring Temple and their games for a while. Temple got out rebounded 41 to 19. Might happen when you get blown out. It's the worst rebounding margin in 6 years. 5.5 point line move in less than 2 hours, and no significant injury news. Matt Holt may have something to say there. He may have something to go in and investigate. Matt Holt was watching at the time this all was going on. Matt Holt was watching a blowout. Pepperdine destroying Pacific 58 to 9.
9. They only had 9 at halftime.
So maybe that's the game you should be investigating, not the UAB game. I'm just saying. This set off a nuclear bomb in the sports betting space. And everyone was commenting on this.
They were.
And some of the things that were coming out, Dave, were just ridiculous, throwing crap at the wall type stuff. This is from a guy on Twitter. He's got followers of people that we know. Rumors in New York, a group of gamblers have their hands on a few Temple players.
Oh boy.
Seems like this line movement, those rumors might have some merit. Eerily similar to the Arizona State scandal years ago. Some dumbass gambler is going to get a visit soon. I don't know who Mr. Smith is.
I don't know either.
U.S. Integrity, our friend Frankie. U.S. Integrity was way behind, actually. They only reacted to what was seen on the betting screens. The line in Vegas was crushed in a little over an hour. They only alerted to it after the money and the move. Misleading to say that they sent a, quote, alert to post about the steam. Yes, UAB was money. Wink. All the numbers. This is the line movement that Frankie put up. There's the line movement. 2, 2.5, 3, 4, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, 8.5, 8 came back. They dropped the juice down from minus 115 to minus 1.8.
Yep.
You're the book guy.
Yep.
You tell me, is there something here?
Well, I say nobody knows Squadouche in the PG function, and I say nobody knows shit. Hopefully that was good enough for you, Will. Sorry. I don't know. I really don't know if anything is nefarious. But I know that line movement and that steam was smoking. And I got texts from guys down south, i.e. not in this country, that said, have you heard about the Temple game? No, I'm working, bro. What's up? Well, they were laying it. Didn't matter what we made it. Oh, really? Huh. Been there, done that. Does that mean something's going on? Somebody knew something. Are they going to find out? Maybe. Maybe not.
But to accuse college kids, to say that something nefarious was going on, not inside information, which happens every day, by the way. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Not one-minded, one-way action, which happens every day, by the way.
Right.
Yes, a large number of big money gamblers all were on UAB yesterday.
Big money, small money, all money.
Everybody, fine. Everyone, no matter what the number, no matter what the juice,
on the other side, period.
First half number, game number, they were hammering it on every single side.
All of it.
But one, the integrity monitoring service had no idea. Okay. They had no idea.
No.
They looked at the movement. Then they figured out, okay, something's going on. The alert that they sent, come on, bro. Like, let's be clear here as to what's going on.
The alert came after the game. Let's like
Okay.
anyone that I know that works in a book that got the alert got it about 90 minutes to 2 hours after the game.
Which they've already paid out all the tickets, by the way. So that's after all the money was paid. So you can't do anything about that. The money's gone. So you're not getting great. Thanks for the alert. I appreciate it, but didn't save my bottom line because I got crushed because everybody was on UAB. I'm not comfortable sitting here and making accusations that kids were somehow on the take without knowing whether that's even close to being factually accurate, without having some type of evidence, because the only thing that tipped off U.S. integrity was the line movement. And again, if you tell me that, quote, sources inside U.S. integrity has been, quote, monitoring Temple because this is the second time that it happened this season, I'm going to need a paper trail. I need someone to tell me, why wouldn't you make that known to the books ahead of time? Why did you let them book the games?
That's like you're paying for that service. As the book, you're paying for that service. So I'd like to know ahead of time. You telling me after the fact, thank you. But it ain't helping. And two, what am I paying for? You're monitoring what? You're monitoring who? You're not monitoring anything in this situation.
You're watching the
reporting
line
facts
movement like
after
everybody
the
else.
fact.
Yeah, everybody else is watching the same thing. Everybody, you're like, whoa, that steam is crazy. Rex Byers was tweeting like crazy. What's going on? How is this crazy? Jim Root, who will join us coming up here in 30 minutes, talked about the fact that he was like, what is this? This is nuts. I don't think it was that nuts. I just think in the gambling space, there is a small number of people who were in the know, who all were on the same side, who all were hammering it like they knew the outcome of the game. Now, was there inside information? Yeah, I do think there was. Did somebody find out something about Temple? Yes. But to go from, well, the team hates the coach or the team just flat out quit, they don't want to play anymore, and UAB is going to go in there and kill them, versus, yeah, by the way, the kids are cut in. The kids are going to get a percentage of the winnings for throwing the games. Man, you got to have a lot of evidence, start throwing that around. That is jail time. That is really on a different level of accusation to me than just inside information got leaked out.
We saw what happened in Iowa with the gambling scandal. And then it was like, you know what? We're dropping all the charges. It's a do-over. And the ones that suffered were the kids.
Right.
Where all of them lost years of eligibility, got put in blast and, stuff on records and all this other stuff. Oh, sorry. We were just, we jumped the gun a little bit or whatever they said. So to go from...
This is my point. The line was wrong. Why can't the line be wrong with books using homogenized lines, using everyone's still line? When someone goes, they post it up, everybody follows it. Why can't it just be the line maker, the bookmaker? The line was wrong. Why did it have to be illegal?
Could that be monitored as well? I mean, that probably should, but I don't know.
I bet overnight, guys. This week, I saw an NBA total move 8 points. Crickets.
Yeah.
No nefarious, no accusation, no alert, nothing. Oh, Matt, that's a NBA. It's not college. A bet's a bet, is it not? A market's a market, is it not? 8 points. No injury news. Just bad people.
Well, there's injury news in the NBA every day.
There always is, but on the game I'm talking about, there was not injury news.
Right.
It just was the under, and it was 213.5, and it closed at 204. And they hammered the holy hell out of the under because people were betting the unders, and they moved it aggressively because they're like, oh crap, we're on the wrong side.
Right.
I mean, this is not a shock. This is not a shock to me that this happens where it's 5.5 points of line movement. It's in basketball. Is that crazy?
Was the report generated because the Steam side won? Because if Temple would have won, it would have been the books knew, and there would have been no report, right? Maybe. I don't know.
We only hear about these things when the books lose. We never hear about this when the books win. It's amazing. It's only when the bookmakers have to go into their pocket to pay this out do we see this.
Well,
And then
if the integrity service if that's the purpose, then who are they watching? So they're watching for suspicious betting activity because there might be something fixed. Okay, but you don't know that information as the monitoring service unless the book tells you. I'm just trying to understand the purpose of the monitoring service. Bookmakers have been on right sides of fixes and wrong sides of fixes, if there are fixes, since the beginning of time. Like, I don't understand when the reports go out and when they don't. I mean, if a baseball game moves 50 cents, the other night, Ottawa, hockey game at the Ducks, opened minus 150. It closed minus 200. People that never bet hockey in their life had Ottawa because Anaheim sat out and traded 6 starters. Half of the forwards and defensemen on the team weren't playing. They called up a bunch of people. The Ducks won 2-1. Is 50 cents on a hockey game in a day of game movement a lot? It might be the most I've ever heard of. Might be the most I've ever heard of. Not a peep. It was a Wednesday night hockey game that nobody was paying attention to. Nobody bets hockey. Dave, you talk too much hockey, Dave. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. The dog won. So, well, was that suspicious? In some people's eyes, it might be. Through these glasses, I would say that could be very suspicious.
I just think you got to be. We'll talk to Jim Root here coming up in about 10 minutes, but we got to be very careful about where we're going with this.
Right.
We'll get to it on the other side. We got to get to our guy because it is Rithmm Friday. Perfect. Both guys are here. It's phenomenal. Root came in early, so you got both guys are here.
Root's
James been very patiently waiting in the back for us to get through this, and Rithmm's coming on here. We got a great time with Rithmm. James Santore joining. The hair is on point, my friend. How are you? That shirt is unbuttoned. The women are going to go crazy. What is up? How are you?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Ladies, I sent out the text. I told them, listen, James is going to be on today. They're getting used to you on Friday, so thank you for joining us. You can leave that unbuttoned. Listen, we got no rules here. You can want to leave that unbuttoned. You got the Manscaped and everything. That's great. I like it.
Look, I mean, you're talking about Philly already. I mean, it's pretty Philly for me to have a few buttons unbuttoned on a Friday. So,
amen.
Have you ever been to Temple basketball game?
Of course he has. No.
Yeah, LaSalle kick their ass every single time.
There we go. I'm a UMass graduate. I hate Temple, so it's phenomenal. But is that a story in Philly? Are you guys talking about it in Philly today, or is it just us in the gambling space only?
No, it actually it circulated around my college teammate group chat this morning, and it was like somebody was like, "James, is this you?" I was like, "No, it was not me. I didn't do anything."
Is this you? Did you do this?
It's like they know I'm in the betting space. So did James? No, I didn't have anything to do with it. And yeah, it sucks. I mean, this is something that it's a new reality of college sports, and it is what it is. But it sucks that it happens after the fact. But I will say that sometimes they do need to see the actual action happen to a point where it reaches a threshold to be able to make a decision that it is actual, it's true line movement, not something that's not, basically they need to see this happen in real time to make a decision. That's why they wait till after the fact instead of going after it. But
I guess, but I'd rather if
I agree with you.
Paying for the service, I'd rather you send me alerts all the time on crazy line movement and then let me determine if the action is, nefarious or suspicious or whatever the word is you want to use.
I think that's the goal. Probably. I think it's try to get there. I think the biggest issue is with all the data plays, and there's so many different stakeholders that decide what you can do with it and how they can relay that. It's like, you're right though. That's where this market should be going to, is where you get true understanding of how exactly these lines are moving and getting updates where you think you need to see these updates.
Yeah. Well, the other caveat is that Temple basketball sucks. I mean, it's hard. They were 2-11-1 against the spread before they won 2 games in a row. So, it's not even. How do you determine if it's just bad basketball? There's a situation where The kids don't like the coach. The coach left. Everybody's
Objective
done.
at that point.
Who knows? It's really hard. What else is going on in Philly and Rithmm and everything else? I mean, we got a full slate of NBA today.
Oh, we got props here in a second. James and I are going to find my way to a couple of player props I want to bet tonight. What's up with golf, though? I'm seeing all sorts of cool rumblings. You guys are getting ready, right?
Yeah. So first up, we're doing our March Madness bracket generator, which is going to be awesome. Again, I've talked about that before, but that'll be free for anybody to use. But AI generated bracket. Last year, we had people that like actually had the Final Four from the brackets, which considering last year's Final Four is pretty wild.
Nice.
Yeah, which will be cool. And then obviously for every March Madness game, having Rithmm to be able to have a play for every single game, no matter how, 16 versus 1, all that. So it's going to be a really fun tool to use for March Madness as a whole. But then as soon as March Madness is over, then we'll have golf right away. So we're preparing for it. We're really excited for it. It'll be perfect. Be ready for the Masters, which will be huge.
Perfect.
So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And even better, what we added to the app last Friday, actually, like late in the afternoon. So it wasn't while I was on the show, but I think I had talked about it, was prop graphs. So now when you're in the app and you're going to look and see what props to bet on, you can just click into the prop and you can see historical data, 5, 10, 15, 20, those last games, and see again, like the percentage of, if you look at the last 10, what the under, what the over, how often it's hit. So it's been a lot of fun to use that as a user. And I know a lot of other users have loved it so far. So it's pretty cool. And again, that's a huge value for any user.
This is a little bit of a invite for you guys who haven't joined our Discord channel, thebvbshow.com. Every day I'm taking Rithmm's play of the day and I'm putting it into our Discord channel. So if you guys are looking for Rithmm and what they're doing and how they're making their plays, I've been tracking it. It's been profitable this week, at least since I've started doing it on Monday. So every time you're in the Discord channel, just go ahead and scroll up. I at everybody, and you guys can see Rithmm's AI model play of the day. And it's been doing in college basketball, at least you guys have been doing really well. And then one guy put together a hell of a ticket that I just saw for $25.
Yeah, $25 to win about 1,400. So 8-leg parlay, using all Rithmm picks. And we've actually, that same night, I actually sent out an email to all of our subscribers. I dubbed it the night of parlays. We had 4 people that hit big parlays. Now that was the biggest because it was an 8-legger at like plus 5,200. We had a few people hit them at like, $5 to win 800, and it was just like pretty cool because that happens fairly frequently. So
I like that.
Yeah, football guy 97.
We're all part of the Rithmm Nation. I like that. That's a good line.
I need to get that Janet Jackson clip then, I guess.
It could be your theme song. That's pretty cool on that.
Are you officially done being a Sixers fan?
Somebody literally asked me that earlier this morning, and I was like, I still think Embiid's coming back, and I'm going to get my hopes back up.
Wow, they're 7.5-point dogs today to the Pelicans at home.
Crazy timing. I just got this in the mail, like literally as I got home from the gym today. I got 2 new Sixers hats. Now, I was thinking about this. I was like, man, if things keep trending the way they are, I'm not going to be able to wear these for another year.
Yeah.
I'll always
keep them on the shelf for a little while. That's fine.
Yeah. I hope Embiid comes back.
Are you a big hat? I mean, like, were you the guy in the dugout? Like when you were, when you guys were playing, did you leave your hat off and just catch some rays and stuff? Or when you were out in the bullpen? You probably didn't wear the hat very much because of that lettuce.
There's a picture of me in the bullpen, just like the only guy with the hat off, and I look like such a douche, honestly. But
of course,
I didn't play that much, so it's like I had a lot of time to go catch rays and have the hat off and just chill out. So it is. But.
Good stuff. All right, let's get to some NBA player props for tonight. I got to find a couple that I'm going to bet. This is the top 8 NBA player props on the recommendation from Rithmm here. I know you have your own picks and your own liking. I can't believe LeBron's on this list, but for an under, so I can't hate it because I like under for the game. Yeah. Under 8.5 assists for LeBron James. That jumped off the screen to me. And then Jalen Green under 18.5 points for the Rockets at the Blazers coming up here later on tonight. The green little star means the model likes it, and then the percentage of time that they expect it to hit. Where has your eye gone for tonight here for NBA player props?
So my number one pick is it's actually, sorry, let me pull it back up. Jared Allen over 17.5 points. So what I've been doing now is like I see Jared Allen 17.5 points, and then I tap into the prop, and then I see the graph that shows me that over the last let's see, 10 games. So I'm put this up. Out of the last 10 games, that overs hit 70% of the time.
Ooh.
So that's where now I can make that instant decision of seeing, okay, over for Jared Allen. Now I see that frequently he's hitting that, and then I may feel comfortable making that decision. So that's kind of been what's been helping me again this last week, be able to use this new tool. And we're hearing a lot of people have success with this. Again, a lot of these these prop parlays that people have been hitting have been using this new tool with the graphs. So yeah, that's my number one play, just because Jared Allen has been again 70% in the last 10 games hitting that. So big fan there. And then the other one I have at plus money is Jonas Valanciunas over 9.5 rebounds.
Love it.
That's at plus 105. And he's over the last 20, I went back to 20. He's 50-50, but he's averaging 9.4 rebounds a game anyway. So right. I'm pretty sure he's been playing well. He's playing the Sixers, who have Paul Reed and I forget who else our freaking backup is at this point. Since literally, I think we just signed like Jeff Downton as our two-way guy. Respect to Jeff Downton, but I don't know who that is. Like,
right.
It's back to process Sixers era where it's like, all right, where'd this dude come from?
There's going to be a lot of moving parts as this process continues there. Don't worry about the name. Sometimes just look at the prop. Are you a points guy, a rebounds guy, or an assist guy? Like, what do you find your steals or blocks? The basketball, it gets hard for people to kind of, I always tell everybody narrow the focus. Like, PRAs, the kids love the PRAs. Do you have something specific that you gravitate more towards, or are you kind of just all over the place?
I mean, 3-pointers, which is probably the worst thing, like statistically, to go for, because you
did well last week, though. I mean, the Giannis play you gave out last week hit in like the first quarter.
The thing
one made 3.
Yeah, the thing with 3-pointers is that it only for a lot of them, it's plus money and it only takes 1 or 2. So it's for me, it's totally a volume thing. So what I do is I look for guys who are shooting enough threes. And again, hoping guys have bad nights. Like, it is what it is. And that's a risk of any sort of pick you're making. But for 3-pointers, I feel like there's the most plus money opportunities. I also do just love points in general. Like, it's one of those things. There's that guy can go off in the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden your entire perception of watching that game has changed. So it's really more for me. It's whatever's most engaging. Like, if it's a game I'm watching, or it's a guy that I like watching, or I've been following his development, and now I'm seeing him recommended by Rithmm. Those are the bets I'll take. So
Justin's asking, the play was over 17.5 points?
Yes, over 17.5 points at minus 120. And we're predicting 21.3.
Yeah, 5-9, and Joseph Mogan's got it at 25 and 19, 9.5% ROI since last week using the Rithmm model. This is the guy who's been crushing it with Rithmm for you guys. So he's a very big fan of using the app.
Boy, Joe Mogan.
He's been showing what he's been doing. So he's been obviously very profitable using your application to find things with bets. Claxton for Utah hitting threes. I can't hate that. He's been decent hitting threes. But what I love about the app, if you go to the app right now, your top 4 plays today for 3-point shooters, 3-point makes, all unders. You don't always see that. Normally, because I've seen it in the space a lot, they know people like to bet overs. So they don't want to recommend unders because the public tends not to like that. You guys' top 4 plays are under.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a big piece of what we do. And I was thinking about this while you guys were talking about the Temple situation. Obviously, like, Rithmm is here to be helpful and help you be more responsible as you're betting. So it's kind of one of those things that we're not going to just tell you the fun things to bet on. We're going to tell you what we really data-backed you should be betting on. So that's why we also put the caution signs in, say, hey, you should think a little bit more about this. But I'd say that's why you see so many unders. And that's actually something that we did as a team as we went back. There was a lot of 3-pointers, like when we first came out with props, right? And we were cognizant of that. So we took a step back and said, we went to our data scientists and we said, hey, where can we add more value to our users who don't want to just see overs on 3-pointers, right? And then we made that change. Now, again, this past week, the numbers have been insane of what we've seen of people individually just winning. So, again, we're just trying to make sure people are being cautious and not just betting everything they see. And that's why you're going to see unders, which isn't as fun or sexy to bet on, but it's still, that's how you can win bets.
Listen, unders pay the same as overs. It doesn't matter. And sexy is in the eye of the beholder. Getting to the window, everybody likes. So that's fine. I think that is actually what kind of makes you a little bit unique, in that you can talk about the unders as much as the overs and just kind of put it on a line and say, here, these are the bets that you can recommend. You don't have to bet them all. You can pick and choose whatever you want. Last one for me, when they do parlays, like I tell people, don't do more than 2. And if you want to have fun, do 3-game parlays. You got guys posting 8-pick parlay tickets and all this other stuff. James, like, what's a good number for you for the parlays? Like, seriously, 3, 4 max, or every once in a while you like to fire a little 8-teamer?
So I'm gonna put my Rithmm like data hat on, and then I'll give my personal thought. The Rithmm data hat is that parlays are never a good bet because they're always advantageous for the book.
Yeah.
They're meant to make you lose, but they're meant to be fun. Now, what I'd say is that doesn't mean that like you just stop doing them. That doesn't mean I don't do parlays. I think sometimes it's more fun to just throw, like, sometimes, like, if I'm just browsing, especially, that's the beauty of using Rithmm. Like, it's helped me so much, like, to actually like quickly be able to make a parlay that doesn't actually just suck. I used to go through like, it would be like Sixers Pelicans tonight, and I would just choose the first 5 things. I'm like, this sounds like it could happen. And then now I have Rithmm. I'm like, okay, well, this is what Rithmm actually thinks I should choose, and it's not just my brain going with my heart there. So, I think it's, I'd say, again, like between 3 and 5 is usually reasonable. But the thing is, and I think this is a user behavior thing, let's say you do a 3-leg parlay and it's only a plus 500. You're like, well, if I add one more leg to that, it's plus 1,000. And then, it's like when you start seeing those numbers go up, you're like, oh man, this could be a huge payday.
And that's the one. That's the one that burns you.
And then the 25-cent bet you were going to do, you're like, oh man, but if I do $1, then it's like, being aware that that's the way that people think about it. And
that's true. All right, we'll get Eder on this. Do you feel good or bad that the Rithmm model is picking the Sixers plus 7.5 tonight? Your own Rithmm model has your team covering tonight.
You know what the funny thing is? My personal Rithmm model also had that, and I almost put it out, and I was like, I don't know if I can provide the public a Sixers plus 7.5 tonight. So I did not publicly put that out there. I did have us on the over though, so I can give the over out, but I don't want to lead people in the wrong direction to go, to go bet the Sixers tonight.
That's very, very cool. James, thank you so much. 7-day trial with Rithmm. Go download it right now. Check out what's going on with Rithmm. We appreciate you every Friday. It's always a ton of fun. And you like the over for one. Any other props you like tonight besides that one?
Yeah. Jared Allen over 17.5. Valanciunas over 9.5. And then Anthony Simons under 27.5. He's had a few big games. He's due for a come down. It's happening tonight.
Let's cash. Good stuff, bud. Appreciate it. We'll talk next week. All right.
Good fellas.
That is James Santore from Rithmm joining us here on the Bostonian versus the book. And look who is here. So patiently waiting.
Root.
I apologize. We got lost on time. Thank you. You are an absolute king for hanging out for as long as you have. You're supposed to be done right now, and you're still hanging out. He is Jim Root from the Action Network joining us here on the Bostonian versus the book. What's up, bud? Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you. I'm just watching this Arch Madness game, doing exactly what I'd be doing if I wasn't on. So no harm done at all.
How are the Sycamores doing?
What's the score?
Covering 8.5?
Sycamores up 12.
Oh, good.
3 minutes left. Yeah, seems like you're in decent shape.
That's right. I got the 8.5, but this team goes to 12.
If it falls 12.
Absolutely ironic. If it falls 12.
Something if it falls 12.
All right, so let's get into this game, this Temple game, because your clip went everywhere. You were on VSiN last night. It took off. Alpha Announcing picked it up, everything. Over the last, say, 12 hours since you first appeared and had that conversation, has your opinion changed at all about the line movement involving Temple and UAB?
It is. I've become more confident that something was up. When I was on VSiN last night, I said I was unwilling I was like, I'm not going to call point shaving or anything. That was before the game tipped. And it's not even because of the result of the game. I've had a couple people DM me with loose, I wouldn't call it even evidence. Like, evidence is not something that I would present it in a court or anything, but just kind of whispers that I think would point to this being really something. And to me, it's just the timing of it, like Matt, to your point, you're talking about the Indiana State movement. And I don't think that's even like remotely comparable because that was, if there's a wrong line, it gets bet right away. It gets eaten up. Pros are like, as limits widen, that's when people start to hit it. And this game sat 2.5 until the afternoon, like limits were open. People could have bet it, could have picked it up.
Okay. But just to push back at Circa, that didn't happen. Circa started moving it first thing in the morning.
Wrong. No, it was at 2.5. It didn't move till like 1 in the afternoon. And then it went 3, 3.5, 4, 4. Like
There
it
it is
all
right
did it
there.
in an
Yeah.
hour. Yeah. So you see the
James,
2.5 from
that
6
number,
until 10:30. It didn't move, and then it moves like every 10 minutes, like clockwork. That's what the difference is. People had the chance to bet 2.5 for hours and hours and hours, and they didn't. So, and that in itself doesn't tell me anything. That tells me, okay, maybe there's an injury, maybe something's up, maybe someone's suspended we don't know about. Like that's the kind of game I look at. I've been gambling college basketball every day for 5 years, and this late in the year, it doesn't move like that at that point in the day, unless something happened. And I couldn't find anything. Nothing came up. And then you look back at the Memphis game that got bet a little strangely too, with no injuries, and it really stunk to me. And then the fact that the clip went viral and people reached out to me and they're like, yeah, I think this is real. Here's why I think that. And again, not confirmation. No names were thrown out to me of players or anything, but I am confident that an investigation is going to unveil some bad stuff.
It can't be the line being wrong.
I would think and pretty much every time, if the line's wrong, it gets attacked. Like it's like the limit's open where people can bet a wrong line. And to your point, like the Indiana State game, 8.5 FanDuel last night, I think Circa opened at 11 today. And that's, when pros can start betting, it didn't get hammered up from there. I just think it comes back to that, where if people had a chance to bet 2.5 all day, what did they learn at 1 Eastern that suddenly made them feast?
My pushback would be, if they thought something was up and they knew it from the previous game against Memphis, why did they wait until 10:30 Pacific time to bet it?
My devil's advocate to that would be like, that's when they decided we're going for it on this game. And I would say there's probably a good chance that if there was shaving here, it has happened before with Temple, and maybe a smaller market, a first half or something that would not pop as noticeably. It's like if somebody's been stealing from shoplifting, like from the little counters right by the checkout counter, and then suddenly they're like, what if I try to sneak a TV under my shirt? And like everybody notices then. Customers notice, workers notice. And I think that's what happened here. I think getting towards the end of the year, they tried to cash in for a big payday, and it just blew up too much in their face. It was too brazen, too obvious, and people just picked up on it.
Well, I think they did it. I think they won. Like everybody that bet it won. There wasn't a number that didn't cover.
Well, did they win if they end up getting arrested?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what they get arrested for. The guys betting, if the guys betting knew that the team was done, it was the last home game, we're going to ship it. Like the Arizona State scandal, when you look back and you talk to people that were here in Vegas and lived it, they were college fraternity kids driving up from Vegas or from Arizona State to come up and bet at the counters. And it got to be like the third time somebody said, why do these kids keep coming up here and betting on this? It wasn't known until it was done, and they lost. James, like, who lost yesterday?
The books, yeah. And who feels bad for a sports book, right?
Nobody.
But that's the point that my issue with this is, well, there's a couple different issues, but the first issue is we're going to accuse kids of point shaving without having any real evidence that it actually happened. We've seen steam before. The sports betting community at the highest of levels is a small number of people that, if it gets into an ecosystem, if you want it, into a Discord channel, into a chat, into a thread where everyone now hammers it on one side, and the books start taking more and more money. First half numbers got hit, as we know. Game numbers got hit, as we know. But as of right now, I mean, if U.S. Integrity was investigating Temple for a long time, as it's being reported, they were watching Temple, why were they allowing the books to take action on it?
Yeah, that makes no sense to me. I feel like U.S. Integrity maybe, like, I don't know if I would say they dropped the ball, but like, why are you alerting people after all this movement's happened? The one, like, I would just challenge you to find a college basketball side that has moved this much at that time of the day without an injury or a suspension. Like, it just doesn't happen at this point in the year. Like, sure, in the first week or so when opinions really differ on teams, maybe, but at this point when everybody's got the information of 30 games that the teams played, like, I just never see this with a game unless it's like, oh crap, someone knew Tyler Kolek was out before it's announced, and the Marquette Creighton game moves.
But can't they just all be on one side? Can't all the gamblers just be betting on one side because they had inside information that the team quit? Like, it's not point shaving. They just knew that the team quit. They don't want to play anymore because the starting point guard slept with the center's girlfriend last night.
That is theoretically possible. I can't disprove that whatsoever. But did they all find out at the same time and hammer it every 10 minutes all the way up to 8? That feels like a reach. I mean, sometimes it's kind of like Occam's razor. Like, the simplest explanation here is something happened.
Right. And that's the hard part. Like, to say that something happened without knowing that something happened, I agree with you. You got to wait and see, but it smells like something could have happened. And from the book standpoint, when they lay 2.5 and you go to 3.5 and they go to 4.5 and you go to 5.5 and there's still no resistance, they're laying the third and the fourth number. The book already knew. They didn't need the integrity report to go, hey, guys, there was some suspicious betting activity today. Oh, really? Thanks. We needed any number to cover, and they weren't even close. They lost by 28, lost the first half by 17. But you mentioned in the clip about the Memphis game. What set off even the thought process in the comparison between what happened yesterday and what happened with the Memphis game with Temple?
It's just that it was the same thing where it was like in the opener had sat there for hours. On the day of the game, no one seemed interested in it. And then suddenly the line was 4 points and Temple's starting lineup is the same as it was the previous game. No one was suspended. Same group was out there. And so that was more the red flag. Like, I wouldn't have brought it up on VSiN last night or before we even went live on air with Tim, if there hadn't been like this second example. I've seen games like this where I thought the number was going crazy. I couldn't figure out why. I bet the other side and I got it wrong, but that was the only time it happened with that team. So who am I to call it out as something suspicious? But this one, the fact that there was a second game that moved like that, I think there's at least a little question to be had. And to your guys' point, I believe Memphis covered most of those. Temple covered most of the numbers in that game on February 8th. So it wasn't like it was some big home run win for the people betting it.
Right. So then that would then call into question that someone on the team's on the take, would it not?
Well, perhaps, and maybe, there's conflicting. If there's someone on the take, did he not play enough minutes? Were other guys resisting against it? And to your point too, about like people throwing out accusations. I'm pretty pleased that I haven't seen people like, oh, last 2 games, player X played terrible, it must be him. Like, right. That's good. That's a positive sign.
I know, but unfortunately, like, this is out. Rumors in New York of a group of gamblers having their hands on a few Temple players. Seems like this line movement and those rumors had some merit, eerily similar to the Arizona State scandal years ago. Some dumbass gamblers are going to get a visit soon. So even though we're not talking about individual names.
Hold on, he's frozen. Matt, hold on 1 second. Stop talking.
Uh-oh.
Snap your fingers.
Am I back now?
In 1 second. Hold on.
There
we go. You're back. Continue.
So there are people on Twitter X who are at least not throwing out names, but they are saying that players on the Temple team are in the pocket of gamblers.
Yeah, I have to hope and assume that's somebody that's heard like the same kind of whispers from people that I have. I obviously, like I said, I don't have confirmation. It's not like I have recording of a phone call that happened or something like that.
Right.
But just combined with such a crazy line move and the fact that somebody reached out, it's like, this is real. I'm inclined to believe that something happened. I don't know who. I don't know who to point fingers at. If it's one guy, if it's the whole team. I don't know. But it feels like there's too much smoke for there not to be a fire.
Okay, so then UAB plays on the road at UTSA coming up this weekend.
Temple
plays at UTSA on the road, and then they play in the A10 tournament. Should there be betting on these games involving Temple?
I would think the attention that it's gotten so far and very publicly now would prevent anybody from being so brazen to again go after it. So I would think the book should be comfortable taking it. If there's crazy line movement again, that would blow my mind. Somebody's just like flying too close to the sun a little bit there. It would seem comfortable to me, but I will defer to Dave here. As a guy who's worked behind the counter, I have
100%. I would put the line up. I would look what Ken Palm has. I would look what I have, and I would put up a number and say, come and get it. Because now we'll know. If you're really going to do what you did yesterday, if you did anything, we'll know if you're doing it again on Sunday if you want to take a shot. But I don't think they will. You're right. I feel like what I got from people was like, wow, this might have been their last time. I thought it was the way people said it to me was this was their last game. I thought it was a tournament game, Jim, because I thought they shipped it. Like whoever was doing whatever they were doing said, we got to go get it now. Somebody knows, or it's all over. Bet the first half as much as you can. You know, the order went out. Lay it, and then lay it again. And lay the scout price. And lay the first half. At halftime, lay the second half. Bet the over. Bet the, whatever they bet. They bet it all one way. And there's usually resistance on the other side. So I don't know. I think you should definitely take it. I think you'll definitely have action on it. Would you bet it again?
I would not. I would be terrified of that. I mean,
same.
I guess like if you want to bet it with, if it's kind of going back to what Matt thinks, where I just think the team has quit. Maybe you do want to jump on it. I guess if it's somebody of my belief where I think something was going on, then I would think there's not an edge there. The line's probably going to be true to what it should be, and perhaps there's an edge on Temple because they're actually going to play hard.
There could be. So in your mind, there's no way that a bookmaker who set the first number could have put a number up wrong and told everybody to come get it.
I would think no, because every predictive metric was like right in line with it. Massey, Ken Pom, Bart Torvik were all like right there. And just the fact that the number sat there for so long, if it was like truly wrong and not information based, that gets snapped up right away. This had to be something gave somebody the impetus in that mid-afternoon on the East Coast to just go for it.
All right, enough Temple basketball. Who's going to win the tournament? I mean, just, you know, quad one wins, you know, all this stuff.
By the way, Indiana State won and covered every number, FYI.
What's that?
And it stayed under.
Indiana State won.
That's good for everybody.
They covered every number. 8.5 all the way 12
wins. The total stays on.
They covered it all.
Jim's happy. P. Rolt's happy. Seriously though, Root, like narrow it down a little bit. We got a ton of people watching the show live. It'll re-air tonight on SiriusXM and Sports Grid and all the platforms. Who are you looking at? I mean, how long is your list? What's the process here? Because it feels like, I mean, there's top teams, Connecticut, Purdue, Houston, yes, but like this feels pretty wide open.
Yeah, wide open. I mean, I think UConn's the best team in terms of being matchup proof-ish, where they can win a high-scoring game, they can win a slugfest. They're not like vulnerable to ball pressure or to size or something like that. I think they have gotten that reputation and earned it well at this point. If you want my paranoid answer, it would be UConn's winning because they're the one team I don't have a good future price on. So
of course.
you know how that goes. But beyond that, I just think every team has a little bit of something you can kind of pick at. With Purdue, it's the ball pressure in their guards if they play high level athleticism. With Arizona, if you take them into half court and they can't get transition points and get to the rim that way, that's what Princeton did to them. Is that issue solved? Houston, the shot making question, the depth is really questionable now with 3 guys out for the year off the bench. They're going to be heavily reliant on that starting 5, going to have to play a little smaller without some size on the bench. So to me, UConn's the one that doesn't have something I look at and be like, here's how you exploit them. I think they're justifiably the favorite.
Where are you on Arizona? The Final Four is in Arizona. It's in Phoenix. I have a ticket on them to win it all. I think they could beat anybody in the tournament and lose to anybody in the tournament. They are really Jekyll and Hyde. But what's your outlook on Arizona?
Yeah, I think they're most vulnerable against maybe a dog, a giant killer like Princeton is going to slow it down and not let their talent play out over a larger sample size. Now, the advantage for Arizona is they're like almost surely going to be out west the whole tournament. Yep. Like it's basically set in stone right now. Even if they're the 2 seed, the top 2 seed instead of Tennessee, they'll get shoved out west and balance the regions that way. So they've got a great draw, a great setup that way. And I think if they get further in, you play a Tennessee in the regional final. That's a team that's going to run with them, and that sets up well for what Arizona wants to do. It's if somebody can really take them out of their game, force them to execute in the half court, not get those easy buckets going downhill. Bradley, Caleb Love, those guys are great at it. I think that's where they could get exposed. So maybe it's a upset alert, but once they get past that first 2 rounds, then they start to look really good.
Earlier this week, P. Roll threw this at me because he read it and we talked about it. the NCAA tournament is perfect. It's perfect. 64 teams, and I mean, they play these 2 playing games. It's perfect. They're talking about expanding this thing. They can't expand this. Jim, tell me you're not in favor of expanding the perfect bracket tournament that we have in college sports, please.
I have no desire to expand. I will say I'm pretty close to being like beaten down and submitted to the fact that it's gonna happen. So I'm resigned to it. But I love how it is right now. I mean, if you start to try to make Tuesday and Wednesday bigger days with more play-ins, does that devalue how much fun Thursday and Friday are? And the concern with like the bracket fits well on one sheet of paper and suddenly you expand it. Do people care less? The casual fans. I think there's maybe a little bit of merit to that. It's like you said, it's perfect right now. I don't want to touch it, but it sounds like money and the powers that be are going to make sure that happens.
All right. So when I go and I start talking about teams that can make runs and teams that can win it all, I always look for a superstar. I look for a killer. I look for a great point guard and a great coach. Tennessee has all of that except Rick Barnes is a big problem. I'm a huge fan of Dalton Connect. I love Ziegler. I think they've got complete moxie when they went into Tuscaloosa and beat Alabama, and Bama's got their own problems, but I was very impressed. It was the second loss in 2 years for Alabama at home, and they went and beat South Carolina on the road. I mean, they're tested. Where are you on Tennessee, even with Rick Barnes as the coach?
They're terrific. And like the coaching thing, he has made a Final Four, and every coach is flawed in the tournament until they're not. Like you look at the Jay Wright narratives and the Tony Bennett narratives, and suddenly that could all get flipped by a team that has pieces that his past ones didn't. And you also look at the other coaches at the top, and it's like, who are you really like super confident? I mean, is a Matt Painter team going to make you feel good in the dance? Is Tommy Lloyd going to make you feel good in the dance? So maybe that negates some of the coach like disadvantage with Barnes. And I'm with you. Point guard play is terrific. Connect is a cheat code. Like the way he can shoot over people is outrageous. And then even when he's off the court, they still have that old Tennessee gear of play in the half court, defend the crap out of you, not give up easy buckets. And then they just put him out there and he's like their Super Mario star, and they take off. So I'm with you. That team is every bit a championship contender.
There's a zillion tournaments here in town in Vegas. I'm going to make it a point to go to some West Coast Conference basketball over at the Orleans, where there was a game yesterday that was 53-9 at halftime. I don't know how. I don't even know what that was. But I know with a double bye and all this, that bracket is not perfect. It looks crazy. We had that graphic, and we put it on the screen. It's going to be St. Mary's and Gonzaga. Last question. Who wins that game? Who's cutting down the nets and representing the West Coast Conference? Because it's been the Zags forever, but is St. Mary's winning?
It's the Zags. It's the Zags for me. I took the minus 118 price on the tournament for Gonzaga at circa. Yeah, and part of why I took it instead of waiting for the game is for those two to play is I think St. Mary's could get a run from Santa Clara in the semifinals. No, Josh Jefferson has made a difference with St. Mary's, like their athletic four-man playmaker shooter. They don't have a natural replacement for him in terms of versatility. And I think they've looked a little more vulnerable against that top flight competition without him. So that's why I think that price is okay, because there's a chance that you're getting Santa Clara in the final and Gonzaga is an even bigger favorite and the money line rollover doesn't work. But the Zags are rolling. They look terrific. I'm pretty high on them actually now entering the postseason.
Like to go to the Final Four too?
I added some long shot price 120-1 before they beat up San Francisco and St. Mary's. So it was crazy. They went from like a bubble team to suddenly their resume improved to the fact that they could be like a 6 seed right now. Yeah. And you get them favored in the first round, and they're very high in all the analytics. So could be favored in the second round against a 3 seed. I think they've got the ceiling, and it helps that the games are spaced out. So only having 2 guards isn't going to catch up to them as much.
I got 2 to let you go on this. The first, by the way, Ohio State just got bounced by Maryland in the women's Big Ten tournament. That's a huge upset in the women's tournament. They got a shot to roll here. My next bet, I'm 1-0 on the day so far. My next bet, I took the 1 point with Belmont. I told Dave when I was talking to him last night, I said, there's no way Belmont's going to close as a dog here. They're going to flip to be the favorite. They are now. They're minus 1.5 here after the way that they've been playing. They've been red hot. They have Northern Iowa. I have huge respect for Ben Jacobson, but I like Belmont today. Who do you like in that one?
Belmont. I'm with you. I'm on it. I took it as well. I got it at pick. So hopefully I don't need that point that you have, but Yeah, to your point, they've been terrific. Like just going nuts since the start of February. They got Jacoby Gillespie back, one of their key guards, and you can basically draw a straight line in the results from when he was back to how good they have been. Now it's been a lot of beating up on the lower teams in the Valley, like they haven't beaten Drake or Indiana State or anything, but Northern Iowa, as good as they've been lately too, they're not at that level. So I kind of like riding with Belmont. The only fear is, I think you mentioned it, the Arch Madness teams in the second day. Do the legs go in the second half? But I'm with you. I'm taking Belmont. I think.
Have you ever been to this tournament, Root?
Yeah, I love it. I lived in St. Louis for 3 years.
Look at the Mizzou.
Awesome. I know. Is it as like P. Rolt was describing it the first day, the day shift? There's nobody in the building. It's very quiet.
It has some of that for sure, and especially the first day, like those fan bases don't want to go there because they're like, oh, we're the teams that aren't good. Why would we make our way to it? That's why quarterfinal day is typically the best because all the 1 through 4 seeds are like, yeah, let's go. Our team can win. Let's get in town for it. Yep, it's an awesome day to be.
Today's awesome. And then you go get drunk and you go to Sundeckers and you get drunk beneath the arch like I used to do every year in St. Louis. It's absolutely tremendous.
You've got to figure it out. Yeah.
I love it. I went there 7 years in a row. I love it. I mean, Arch Madness, I know exactly where I was. I was like Norm when I walked in the Sundeckers. It was like, no, it was phenomenal every year. It was awesome. The Mountain West Conference tournament is here. UNLV is arguably the hottest team in the Mountain West Conference.
They are.
They're hosting the Mountain West Conference. Two-parter. How many teams from the Mountain West get in? And can UNLV win the whole thing here and punch their ticket?
I'll say 6. Yes, they can. And I think if they do, that might be like the one that pushes out New Mexico or something. Okay. So I kind of think it's hard for them to get to 7 unless New Mexico is one of the teams that makes the run to play UNLV. But yeah, their ceiling, they've shown it over and over. They've been at their best against the best teams in the league. They got destroyed at home by Air Force. They lost to Southern early in the year. But when they're playing up against those awesome teams, it's like a basket. They lose by a basket or they win on their home floor, and they're on their home floor. It might not be the same court design.
Right.
We don't get the silhouette of the strip on there, but we get mountains on the floor. And it's a fun tournament to watch because there's a lot of equally matched teams in that one.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. Jim, thank you for the time. This was really, really fun. We'll do it again soon,
sir.
right? Appreciate it. No, March, you're very, very busy.
Do it again.
Thank you for coming on.
Of course. Cheers. Thanks, fellas.
Well, I'm Mr. Jim Root at Second Chance Points. Go follow him on Twitter. Good stuff with him on the Bostonian versus the book. Good to get him talking college basketball, crushing it as always on this.
Dude's a hoop guy.
Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah. So
eats, breathes, sleeps it, man.
Crazy time of the year for him. And I really appreciate him hanging out while we talked to James
awesome.
too. So yeah. I do appreciate him coming in. So by the way, your daughter is pitching the second game, FYI. So,
boy.
So
okay.
CBW is this the game that Kylie's pitching? And 2 unearned runs? That would stink if that's
2 unearned, of course. Oh, that first inning is always her bugaboo. All right, breathe, Kai. That'll be good. All right. Great.
She'll be fine. So
last night I said, how did it go? She goes, I don't want to talk about it. I said, okay. Done. I checked the box score. I knew why. So
done. She's frustrated. Yep. Yeah. So the finishing touches on the Temple story, and we'll move on to games today. Do we see anything else fall out, anything else go on from this story?
Well, I mean, I respect Jim's opinion. He probably heard a lot of things that I heard and talking, and there's DMs. You put that tweet up there. But there's people putting stuff out that like leads you to believe there's more to this story than a bad line. And there might be something there. I hope there's not. I really hope there's not. But, the more and more people you talk to, the more. But now, again, we're in our own echo chamber. But, like.
It's outside of the echo chamber now, though.
It's
outside of it now. Story. Yeah, it's outside. I mean, that's why I'm mad about it. I'm mad if it's our show and we're talking about it, and Jim and he's talking with us or Visa wherever he's having a conversation with people about it. That's in the gambling world. When Pat Forty is writing stories about it and putting it out into the world, this is no longer the gambling space. This is now the sports media space. And this story will be on Around the Horn today. This story will be on PTI today.
Do you think?
100%. This is catnip. This is my problem. My biggest problems with the story.
Partners now, though. ESPN.
The number of people who are going to talk about this in an unintelligent way is tremendous.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a laundry list size type of a grocery list size number of shows. They're going to talk about this topic from an unintelligent way, and they're just going to throw out accusation after accusation. Integrity service, the monitor came. They're all using the same thing. I got someone today wrote to me on Twitter. Well, it was flagged by the integrity service. It must be something must be going on. And I'm like, wow, they've got everybody fooled. Like this is tremendous. They needed it. The leagues needed that cover. They needed to go, well, look at them. Not our fault. We have an integrity service. They caught it. We're all good. Nothing to see here. Move on. Really? Okay.
Yeah, but it's bad when you know how the integrity service works.
Correct.
Which is what I know, which it's not good. It just doesn't work. You didn't unearth anything. You're just reporting. And listen, people writing about the story, no disrespect to Pat Forty, but like you're given a script and you just, put it in a couple of your own words and send it out. You got hundreds of thousands of followers. And,
See, my only question with this, Dave, is it when the bets were made? That's the question. I mean, the first movement came at 6:00 in the morning. It was only half a point, but it still moved.
This is now. So this is everything. I mean, now it's not just Vegas.
Okay.
It's statewide. And it's been worldwide for a long time.
Right.
So did it sit there all day? No, it sat there for a couple hours. People, by the time they gathered the money, they loaded the accounts, whatever it had to be done. It wasn't like, it was confirmed and planned for weeks. Hey, we're going to get them on the 7th. All right. It's the game.
Okay.
Temple's playing UAB. They're going to be dogs. We'll light them up then. And they loaded the accounts. Like we've all seen movies and we all have read stories about people that are doing stuff. They're not always the sharpest knives in the drawer. They may have had to gather the money. The word got out and said, send it. Like they put up 2. Don't do nothing yet. Wait till this afternoon when, we get here. All right, send it out. Boom. Lay it again. Like if you've ever like I've been in an office, what they call like a betting office.
Right.
It might as well be a room on a New York Stock Exchange trading floor.
Okay.
Or the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, where back in the days it was pick up the phone, buy, and it's chaos. Like this wasn't like, just slowly bet this and send this out, send the bots out, go eat up all the 2.5s, 3.5s, and 4.5s you can. Like it's just kind of maybe just happened.
But all those things, I guess my point is all of those things can be true. Okay. That they knew something. They knew that this game was going to go south, that something was going on, that a player may have told somebody who told somebody, and it got to the right ears and the right people, and they came in and they started to hammer it. And then other people heard that one syndicate group was hammering it, so they trailed, and then another one trailed, and then another one trailed. Here's my problem with all of this. Nothing goes on where a kid is in on the money. Everything that I just said is legal. It's not illegal, everything I just said. It becomes illegal when the kid gets a bag for doing it. And we have no evidence of that.
No.
We have no evidence, and yet we're going to throw the entire team under the bus and under a microscope, and everyone's going to have a proctology exam. Every bank account for these kids is going to be searched. Every kid's going to...
You're frozen. Hold on. Big freeze. Hold on. Move your finger. There, you're back. Okay, you're good.
So every kid's going to be accused as being a cheater. Every kid's going to be having to wear that brand without anyone having any evidence that they did it.
Oh, yeah. That's bad. Like that, like going to school today has to be brutal. Like going to class or like going to practice. I mean, because what if you're on the team and you didn't know nothing about this? Like,
right.
What's everybody talking about now? Like, why are we on the news? They got more games. They still got more games. Like,
no,
this is
Jimmy Jack, I
ugly.
understand all of this. I'm just saying, if my son was on this team and my son was being accused of being a cheater without any evidence, I'd be ferociously mad. And I love Jim. Jim has no evidence. He said it multiple times. I have no evidence as to what went on. I don't know. I'm just going off of the way the gamblers were betting it. So you're now going into human behavior and dictating that an illegal act happened that caused that behavior to occur. And there's no knowledge as to why that occurred. My point is, it could have been a waterfall from people following one type of gambler. What if it was Billy Walters who bet that first bet and everyone said, Billy's on this, and bang, 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 bang? Because it's happened before where one well-respected bettor comes in because their knowledge and information is better than anybody else's, and they all start to follow it. Again, there can be inside information that nobody in the public has that causes the betting to go the way the betting went. It doesn't mean a player on the team is taking a bag for that information. That's my problem.
Well, for sure. And I could tell you this, the books didn't know. The books never know.
Right.
That's for sure. The books take the bets. And you go, all right, this is I told you this story before. There was rumors about the MAC conference football games for a long, long time. We didn't take the games off the board. Now we circled them. We limited wagers because
will that happen for Temple?
Oh, 100%. There'll be books that'll keep Temple in a circle.
Okay.
That's an old school expression for, like, on the board, you used to physically put a circle around this game. If you took 5 dimes on a game on the side, you took half or a dime only on circle games. Yes. There are 100% are going to be books like, hey, I don't know what's going on with Temple. I don't want to take it off the board because I don't know if it's fixed or not, but I ain't taking full limits. That's the book's discretion. Now, does that an indicator that the book knows that something's up? No. Can someone make an inference that, well, the books are circling the Temple games, so there must be something going on? No. It doesn't mean that. You can't draw that conclusion. I think conclusions are being drawn on this.
Yes.
That are taking a little bit of a leap that there might be. All of what's behind that curtain might be there. But it also might be the Wizard of Oz, pet on a bike.
Okay, people keep on referencing the Alabama baseball scandal. Here is the difference between the Bama baseball scandal and this. This was worldwide, guys. The betting that came in on the Temple stuff happened all over the country. The Alabama baseball scandal happened at one book in one state. Okay. This was one guy who had a direct tie to the head coach who was on the phone with him. He was trying to get a lot of money down on a college baseball game. One guy, one bet in one market. That was the problem. That's not what happened here.
Well, and I mean, he had a phone with the font on the biggest print that said at the game, and he told the people behind the counter,
"Eye in the sky." Right.
I know
that
this is going to happen. You guys should all bet it too. Just let me bet $100K on a college baseball game.
Right.
I mean, that guy wasn't smart.
No.
But when I get texts from people down south that are asking me about this game, it's being bet worldwide, P-Roll. This isn't just national.
No, right. Yeah.
International with Canada. This is all over. This was wide and word got out.
Okay.
And it got
But
bet.
that can happen in the internet world. That can happen pretty fast.
Well, now more than ever.
So
between Discord channels, we have a Discord channel. What's our Discord channel?
TheBVBShow.com.
We have one. Everybody has one. They send out information. There's WhatsApp. There's Telegram. There's all kind of ways that people have. James has a group that they joked with him. James, is this you?
Right.
Well, no. I got the same text yesterday. I was trying to take a walk and I was getting text. Did you bet Temple? Are you on Temple?
Wait, no, Jimmy. People are saying the players are on the take. Absolutely, people are saying there's players on the take. This is what do you mean? There's plenty of people who are saying there are players who need to be investigated. What are you talking about? like this is what are you talking about? Absolutely, people are saying players are on the take. That's the whole part of the conversation. Yes.
Well, I think we need an investigation first.
Of course, there's a million games I want to have investigated. You know how many lines overnight I want investigated every night? But yes, you want to investigate this? Go right ahead. Here's the problem. U.S. Integrity has no authority. None.
Well, they're not doing any investigating. This will be FBI stuff. This will be.
So you think it's going to so they're going to take it up on it? FBI is going to take it up?
Well, then you go with the resources. Do you spend the resources trying to chase gamblers? Like with the
If
FBI?
the FBI is going to open an investigation in this, how the hell is that game going to be on the board on Saturday?
Well, I don't know if they're going to open an investigation to it tomorrow.
Okay.
But if there's people knocking on doors today, 100%. Authorities. There's people asking questions. Where was this bet? They're probably walking into sports books in Philadelphia or in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
You know, who bet this? Do you guys think there was something there? Who's this integrity service? What are they talking about? I mean, there's probably people asking all the questions. I mean, I'm waiting for a call later or next week about it myself. What did you hear? I heard about it on Twitter. Like there's a lot of people talking about a lot of things on the Twitter, you know, making flippant references that could lead to being going, hold on here.
Oh, no, I'm stunned at the number of people who have outed themselves to the point where they've said that kids are on the take. I've heard kids are on the take.
Yeah,
I mean, guys, this is a Twitter account that I put on the screen. This guy's followed. Mike Will Do It. He's followed by a lot of people we know in the business. I have no idea who he is.
Right.
Rumors in New York of a group of gamblers have their hands on a few Temple players. I mean, that's not subtle, guys. Like, that's not a subtle tweet. That's a pretty, that's a guy saying the kids are on the take.
Anybody can put anything out.
Of course, but I'm saying is that guy has been in the gambling space for a long time. He's a gambler. Right. They got people who have in the big media people, okay? Big 4-letter network media people follow that guy. Okay? And then he's got 450 followers and 350 he has 350 followers and he follows about 350 like 400 people or something like that. It's a low number, okay, of what he has for people that follow him and who he follows. And people he follows are all
Oh, boy, big froze right there. I'll freeze with you. Hello.
Are all gambling people.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
Yeah. It's when we have two guests like that. Things get very messed up when we have two people on. Are you muted?
No.
Oh, there we go. So it's people can write and do whatever they want and say and write whatever they want. But do I know there's going to be a investigation? I think there's going to be inquiries, an actual opening of an investigation. I don't know. I'm not sure we'll hear of an FBI investigation going into Temple.
I don't know how. I've heard Jimmy tell the story, and I've asked Jimmy about it. Jimmy Vaccaro out here in Vegas, you know, he's been around. He was around when the kids were driving up from Arizona State and betting.
Right. Well, he's the one who blew the whistle.
He said to somebody, you better check these games. They keep coming up here and betting on them. I don't know what's going on, but we're moving a number, and they're betting it again. And that was before the line screens and the services and all this other stuff. So it was a quick phone call. It was one phone call to somebody, and then they said, all right, gaming control board, look at this. Hey, hold on. Who are these people? You know, and you check records and you go, okay. So now they're going to do that. Somebody's going to check that. Now, I don't even know how to begin. Where were they betting it? Obviously all over. Or it wasn't more than, it was one person that then lit a match that started a wildfire like they do. You know, we see it every summer in California. Somebody throws out a cigarette and half of a mountain burns. Who started the fire? I don't know. But it went pretty quick. You see that line history. I mean, Frankie, our guy Frankie posted it. You could, I mean, again, if you're in a book, you know, like the game is hot. Time to do something. So.
But they didn't take it down.
Some places probably did. Circuit didn't. I mean, I'm in that school of thought. I wouldn't take it down either. I just keep moving it. But they keep betting the one side. That's where you go. Oh, boy.
Okay.
They laid the 3.5 and a 4.5, and now they're laying 7.5. We got to go to 8.5. And ain't nobody going like, you know, like Root said. There's usually somebody that goes, you know what? That just can't be right.
Fair.
I don't believe this.
Fair. He's right. Yeah, I agree with that. There was no resistance on the other side. Definitely tells you that the word was out. Again, I'm not debating that there was groupthink and information and inside information and unknown information that the public did not have that these gamblers had. 100%. I'm just stopping at the point where I think players were involved. I need more before I'm going to say players were involved. The players knew what was being done, and the players
I don't want players to be involved. Because we talked about it last night. We'll talk about it right now. The next step is they're going to do something where they're going to just start banning stuff.
Yeah.
They're going to sweep this wide brush and go, no more betting on college sports.
Right.
Because you can get to them. The pro sports and athletes, I mean, they make too much money. They're not going to get involved. They're not going to talk to people.
Right.
You know, they control their own media. You know, you could get to the inference that you can get to them. They'll go, okay, you guys want to operate books? You want to be taxpayers? You want to be a part of the system? You don't take college sports. It's starting to happen in states with props. Ohio, no more college sports props ever. Okay.
Yeah. All right. We're going to run through 4 games college quickly. While we're doing that, go ahead, Dave, roll them up here for Roll Call Friday. Let's get the guys all cooking here.
Well, we got to do Roll Call Friday right now?
Well, no, let's do 4 games quickly, but while we're doing these games, then they can start to put in their
so put info. In the area codes right now?
Yes.
Let's put them in on the last game. Do the games, and we'll get the area codes on the last game.
You got to rush because it's 1:20. So if you want to do Roll Call Friday for Sports Grid, we got to get it done in 15 minutes.
All right. Well, if we have to finish on bonus time, that's fine. But all right. Yeah. So get the
Drake's laying 14 to Evansville.
14?
Oh, the numbers are huge in the Valley tournament today.
Holy caca.
Yep.
Are you confident in a favorite here?
No.
Evansville Purple Aces got home yesterday?
Yep.
All right.
I
cover
mean,
again today, no?
Look, they played Evansville and they beat them by 49 points in Des Moines.
Oh, ow.
Okay. So do I think Drake can beat them?
Only one time?
They played them in in the home game for Drake. They bet him by 49. When they played at Evansville, let me see. They won by 3.
Oh, so it's there. Its potential is there. I'd say take dog. Second day. Drake's first game, Evansville second, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Evansville first half?
Maybe. Possible. I mean, I played Missouri State that way. So, yeah. I mean, you can do that. That's why I hit both bets on Missouri State. Took them plus points in the first half and took Illinois State minus 8.5. So you can do that if you want. Yeah, it's not horrible.
Jeez, the brigade is putting in these area codes. Somebody's going to have to go back and find the original one. Damn it.
I'll go back.
Here we go.
I do think you lay 12 with Bradley tonight, though. Illinois Chicago.
Crush them?
Double overtime game last night.
Oh, for Illinois Chicago?
Yep. No legs.
12?
Yeah, I think they kill them tonight.
Both of these games tonight are gigantic spreads.
Gigantic spreads. They beat them by 12 at home, and they won by 18 on the road.
But this is the night session, so there'll be people in the building.
There could be. There should be. Yeah. I mean, it's Bradley brings some people. Yeah. I mean, it's not that far. Again, a lot of these schools from Illinois, the Southern Illinois, Bradley's, Illinois State's, they're not a far drive from St. Louis at all, so they can get down there to be a part of this. But mostly the best, most attended key day of the whole tournament is tomorrow. Saturday, semifinal Saturday, always is huge crowd.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Slight lean to Bradley here.
Yeah, I think Bradley destroys him. I think they're going to take him on a woodshed. Pepperdine, here comes the move. Lorenzo Romar was fired, but he's still coaching. They blew out Pacific yesterday. I got 1.5 last night. I think they take care of business against San Diego today.
6:00 start. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm with you with that.
I may go to this game
again. Ride the wave, baby.
I may try to go get down after we're done with Sports Grid. I may run down there for the second half of this game. I don't know. I got to see what happens with that. And then Loyola Marymount is laying 6.5 in the nightcap against Portland tonight. I know nothing about either team.
Huh. Might have to load up the account and go sit there and in-game this one.
4-9-1 LMU on the road. 5-11 for Portland on the road. Portland's won 2 games in a row. 2 out of 3 wins for Loyola Marymount. When these teams played during the regular season, the first matchup, it was a 27-point win at home for Marymount. and then they lost to them on the road by 10 in the last game of the regular season. They just played.
Ooh.
The last game from Marymount was Portland, and they lost by 10.
What was the line? Closing line. You see it?
3.5. They were favored on the road. Another senior night. Watch out.
Jeez. Leaning dog. Not going to lie. Leaning dog in that one.
All right.
You got the roll call thing going
Let's
here?
roll it up. Yep.
Is that what you got?
Let's roll it up.
All right. So somebody got to go back and find it. Somebody go back and tell me where the first one was.
The first one? My gosh.
TP, are you with me? Is that where we go back in the chat and see it?
No, I see
Seattle.
the first
Go
one.
bracket.
Yep. There you go. I see it too. Yep. You can start there.
All right. Real quick before we start, I know you guys asked for a little My Adidas. I didn't have it ready to go, but I had this one real quick. Salt and pepper's here. Now, wait a minute, y'all. This dance ain't for everybody. Only the sexy people. So all you fly mothers, get on out there and dance. Dance, I said. Salt and pepper's here, and we're in effect. Want you to push it back, cooling by day, then at night, working up a sweat. Come on, girls. Let's go show the guys that we know how to become number one in a hot show. Now push it. Push it good. Okay, that's it. Had to get that in there quick for Mikey because he keeps doing these videos that make me laugh. And we got to get the BVB. It's P-Roll and Dave, not Salt and Pepper, but we're here. You're all here. Let's go. 206 TP. Are you with me? ? Seattle. Go Kraken. JC from KC is in the 216 Cleveland, Ohio. 65 degrees. He didn't even put it in there, but he's been in there every week. And I know that Cleveland is 216. JR 33312. Joey Votto signed a minor league deal with the Jays. That ain't the area code.
No.
Johnny, get it together. Please. I look forward to yours every week. There's first class Sergeant Joe C. Myers. 210 San Antonio, Fort Sam, Houston, Texas, via the 931 Clarksville, Tennessee. Hello, sir. Salute you. Congratulations again on that class. Can't wait to see you when you get that BVB hat and a camo. Andy O, 864 Woodruff, South Carolina. Eric Prezano, 616 Seaford, New York. J. Dow Betts, 410 St. Michael's, Maryland. Been very active on the Twitter lately, J. Dow. Appreciate that, sir. Love the banter back and forth on the Twitter. JC from KC. Again, Cleveland, Ohio, 65 degrees. JC, put the area code. It's 216.
We got him.
I know. Please. He keeps missing it. Roper, Kevin Roper, 601 Hattiesburg, Mississippi. George Mason, 902 Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, Canada. That might be our most east guy.
Yep.
That is our most east guy.
Well, I mean, what do you compare England? England's pretty east.
England's across the pond.
Zach the Hat's pretty east.
Zach the Hat is pretty east.
He's far.
There's Escondido, California, Francisco Ochoa. We'll see you in 2 weeks, brother. I can't wait to see you. Big hug coming. Matthew Bonvie, 519, Windsor, Ontario. Don't get in trouble. If you're supposed to be working, get your ass a working. Scott Bartholomew, my man. You know where he's at, 907 Ketchikan, Alaska. I love it. PB, 941 Venice Beach, Florida. Sunny, 85 degrees. Feels like 90. Heading to happy hour. When I grow up, I want to be PB and Mrs. PB. I cannot wait to meet these two. I'm coming to Florida. Lunch is on me. I can't wait. The Juice. Unreal how Illinois State lost. The Juice. Put the area code. It's area code roll call Friday right now.
But they can still post other things.
It's not right now. For the next 10 minutes, this is all we're talking about. Deuce Daily, 978 Lowell, Massachusetts. Alan Smetana, 507 Mankato, Minnesota. There's Boss 429. He's also in the 216 Cleveland, Ohio. Where he's at, it's cloudy and 46. Cleveland's crazy. Different weather, just in the same area code. Roger Long, 765 Clinton, Indiana, 2 weeks away from landing in Vegas for the 321, 322 live shows. BVB. Javier De Jesus. This is a new name and a new area code. 845 Putnam Valley, New York. Bring the NY. I love it. Keep them coming. Go tell somebody. CBW 315 Oswego, New York. Kylie, 3 hits, 3 earned, 3 runs, 1 earned. All right, that's fine. She'll text me later. Thank you, CBW, Oswego, New York. Wow, there he is. Vinko Martinsevich. Gives me goosebumps every time that Vinko is in 385 Croatia watching and participating in Roll Call Friday. Love it. Thank you, Vinko. Ryan Coote, 660 Tipton, Missouri. Lena Scrimmage, 905 Newcastle, Ontario, where it's only 7 degrees Celsius. JR 33312. There he is. 702 Vegas, originally 513 Dayton, Ohio, and ready for the big league weekend at LV Ballpark this weekend. Guess who's going to be there, Johnny? I'll see you. If not, is it tonight? I might go tonight or tomorrow night. I'm coming. I'll see you there. I can't wait. Put my hand in your hair. Brennan, 989 Saginaw, Michigan. Michigan. Addison, a wrench, 812 Giftville. Good F1 race this weekend. Listen, Addison, you can keep trying. We ain't watching them races. I'm just telling you right now, ain't watching them. Just bet Verstappen. That's all you need to know.
Yep.
E-Dubs, 316 Wichita, Kansas. Welcome, sir. 36 degrees. Haven't watched the show in a minute. Feels good to be back. Damn right. Feels good to see you here, sir. Thank you. SoCal DJet, 949 Riverside, California. 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Clear blue skies. SoCal, thank you very much for fixing that. TheBVBShow.com and all the other stuff behind the scenes. We got people working behind the scenes to make this thing grow. We still ain't at 2K subscribers. Somebody make it happen in this weekend if you can.
We're close.
Football Guy 97, 717 Lancaster, PA. Game 1 state hoops tourney tonight. Good luck to you and your daughter. Oh, there's Whitrock. 319 Iowa City, 45 degrees and cloudy. There's Nikki Caramello, 520 Tucson. We'll be traveling for work next week, so I won't be able to watch live, but we'll watch the replays and hit the thumb, leave a comment. My man shows up every damn day, even when he got to work. Thank you, Nikki. Hopefully we'll see you in Vegas. Get your ass up here. That's about a 4.5-hour drive from where you're at. Chef Benny, 401 Providence, Rhode Island, 50 degrees and sunny. Changing diapers every night, figuring out how to get more merch done. We know you're working on it. We're working on it. Let's get it together soon. Daniel G, 989 Saginaw, Michigan. Pistons won a game last night. You're damn right they did. Go get your free wings from Wingstop. What a promotion. Wings for a win. And they only win 10 games. That's a great deal. Fish Killer 73 540 Roanoke, Virginia. 62 degrees there in Roanoke. Thank you, sir. Corey Macbeth, 402 Omaha, Nebraska. A few hours away from an ice-cold, old-fashioned, extra orange peels.
Wednesday. Wednesday for me. Hell yeah. Yeah. Just no muddling of the fruit. Just orange peels are fine.
Muddling of the fruit?
Yes.
I don't even know what the hell that means.
You take it and mush it at the bottom. People, the very awful way of doing an old fashioned is taking fruit and muddling it in the bottom of it and pouring the liquor on top of it.
Yeah, that's no good. I don't like any muddling or anything of anyone's fruit. Stop messing with the fruit.
Yes.
D Stout 19 507 Pipestone, Minnesota. Today is the first day of spring
planting.
We are out in the tractor today doing the Lord's work. Oh, I love that. Take a picture, post it somewhere in the Discord. What's the Discord channel again?
TheBVBShow.com.
Put it in there, D Stout, if you aren't in there already. Let's see here. Scroll down. There's Andy Caston, 702 Vegas.
Ooh,
see Andy.
Orlando's at first. That's cool.
Nice. 407 Steve Anderson, very active on both the Twitter and here. Love you, sir. Thank you for coming. Tell someone about the show. We're growing. Vinny Konowinski, 260 Fort Wayne, Indiana, 55 in rain. Little League tryouts tomorrow are canceled already.
Bummer.
Welcome to the spring, Vinny.
Yep.
You'll get it in. John, 724 Greensburg, PA. John, got my Pirate tickets today. Holy crap. John got Pirate tickets? We got somebody in Pittsburgh with Pirate tickets. That's great. Chris Rivera, 717 Lancaster, PA. AOWN 319 Cedar Falls, Iowa. Southern Star 71. That's a new name.
It is.
A new city. Nancy, Kentucky. 606. I needed Kentucky on the list. That might
did.
push the number up and over.
There's our Aussies.
Tim Kouras, 2,000. Don't be discouraged. Don't be surprised. That's a 4-digit area code. International, Sydney,
South-
Australia.
Covey's
Chris
he's in Mexico?
Who?
South of the border?
843 Chucktown, south of the border. I don't know. I mean,
Florida?
We know Covey's usually in South Carolina.
Right.
Put that on the box.
We got it.
Dab that on the map. Social Giant, 319, Iowa City, Iowa. There's Steve Gramke, 513, Cincinnati, Ohio. Man, we're piling them up in Ohio. I love this. All corners, too. J Buck, holding it down for us. There he is, 603, Hampton, New Hampshire. Keep working, J Buck. Love you, brother. Chris Brady, great afternoon, guys. Happy Friday. Yes, to you as well, sir. James Berger, 563, Davenport, Iowa. Pierre Chevalier, 613, Ottawa, Ontario. Sonic the Wrench, 602, Phoenix, Arizona. Who's this? Jim Montgomery, 215, Fort Washington, Pennsylvania.
Oh, there's a new one. I
Who's
didn't know Daniel's in Quincy. Oh, very cool.
Yes, it is. Daniel, there he is. Daniel Abuna, 617, Quincy, Massachusetts. Hopefully I said your name right, Daniel. Thank you for being here. Michael Eisner. Is this the Disney guy? I don't think so, because he's in Elizabeth, New Jersey. 908, unless he moved from the West Coast. I think that's Michael Eisner. Thank you for being here, sir.
Right.
Dave's Daily Picks, 317, Lebanon, Indiana, coming to Vegas in a couple weeks. Can't wait to see him and family and everybody else. That's going to be so much fun.
It is.
Eron Sean, 703, Centerville, Virginia. The Juice, 602, Phoenix, Arizona. Hoping for Patino Bowl and play game with St. John's in New Mexico. Wow, that'd be interesting. Yeah, Push It was real good. Push It good. There's Crop _Duster 007 flying through 757 Newport News. Shame I missed you last week, Dave. But next time, damn it, I didn't know. I would have seen you too. I saw Mikey Awesome and Mrs. Awesome. Aaron, that was fantastic. Who's this? GBRGH. It can be abbreviated G-Burr. 716 Buffalo.
Mike Palm's action in the Avatar.
Yeah?
Wow, look at that.
How about that?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a burner.
New York got a bill.
NY 212 Bill Tarleton. Love this. Aaron V, 402 Central Nebraska. Snow finally stopped.
Oh, gosh.
JPC to 4th. Claire check. Request line open 313 Detroit. Vic Ferrari, Indianapolis 317. Can we get a Matt's rants about Boston last night in bonus time? You're damn right we're going to talk about the Celtics.
It's like a rant, though.
It's simple.
I called
it. He's been telling people for months.
Saying it for months.
He's been saying it for months.
There's no rant
Celtics
there.
Can't beat the Nuggets. He's been saying it. Nothing, no need. We'll have a rant.
I'm not mad. It's what it is.
217 Jesse Photo, Champaign, Illinois. How about this? There's Lessman. 250 Vancouver Island, British Columbia. He sent the kids to Vegas to watch the Canucks in Vegas hockey game last night.
That's awesome.
Canucks won. This team's good, Les. I like what you're doing there. There's ATL Coos, 404, Atlanta, Georgia.
You know what's fun?
United home opener tomorrow.
Wait.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Uh-oh. Look at that.
What?
Bahamas.
242, the Bahamas. What?
Bahamas.
Who's this?
That's our first Bahamas.
Bahamas. Is that T-Boy? What does that say? T-Boy? I love that. Thank you very much.
He's in the Bahamas.
There's your man, Amesbury.
It's our third.
Ross Randall, 978.
So now we have an Amesbury, we have a Quincy, and we have, what was the third Massachusetts one that we saw?
No muddling. You're right, Anderson. No
There's
muddling.
three.
I don't even know what the hell that is.
Gross.
Don't muddle my fruit.
No, it's
Rainmaker 512, Sweet Lou from the 412, Pittsburgh, PA. Sports Avenger 724, Sharon, PA. J Buck, you got the 617. The 617 is hopping. There's no question about that. And there's Mikey Awesome. That's perfect. Just to hit the mark, too. 757 ODU Brigadeville. He got his license plate. It says BVB Brigade. Don't tell them. Don't let them. They ain't see us coming, but they see us driving away with Mikey's license plate. It was all over the place. It was great.
Very cool. Good stuff, guys. That was a lot of fun. Oregon guys in the Discord. Okay, so we can go ahead and knock Oregon down. That's good. Okay, so we can knock that down. That's cool to see.
West Coast done.
Yeah, the whole West Coast is done, including Hawaii and Alaska. Texas is done. Whole East Coast except for North Carolina today, which is interesting, or Tennessee. Where's our guy Tyler? Tyler didn't pop in today.
Tyler's probably busy betting the basketball or playing poker.
So there we go. Lowell was my third city in Mass announced. Okay, there we go. Very nice. That's very cool. So then we're all on that. So good stuff, guys, on a Roll Call Friday. Thank you so much for being here. If you guys are live with us on YouTube and Twitter, don't move. If you guys are with us on SiriusXM and Sports Grid, we'll be back. Sports Grid replay happens tomorrow as well on Saturday night as well as Friday night, but we will be back on Monday for another new show with you guys. The rest of you guys, don't move. It's time for bonus time. Anybody? There's a Mason Redding, California.
Wow.
Stevie Mack.
Fat head
in Wyoming.
610.
He's in Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll hit
Yeah.
Wyoming on that.
Yep.
Let's see any other ones. We're gonna go.
Listen, if they keep coming, we'll keep an eye on it. We got to finish the show and get out here. This is perfect.
So we'll do that. Okay, so let's see. What have we not talked about yet? So yeah, we'll talk about the Celtics. I said it when you asked me. You said what the line should be. I said 5. They lost by 5. Like Boston being a favorite going into that game was a joke. That never should have been. That line was let's do an investigation into that, please. Yeah. And then closing as a 1.5 point favorite. Boston has absolutely no answer and no idea how to guard that offense. And everyone's talking about the putback dunk today, which is amazing. And I mean, that's awesome. Highlight reel type stuff. Yes. But in a 7-game series, the Boston Celtics are going to have to come up with, and Joe Mazzulla is going to have to come up with a different defensive game plan because they are 0 for 2. In the first game, they slowed it down, they played tempo, and they wanted to really grind. Second game, they played up tempo, and they ran with Denver, and they got worked. So both games, both losses. Sorry. Like, you're not beating them. If they have home court, which they won't. They have home court. Boston will have home court in that. That's huge. Okay. That's a gigantic opportunity to have 4 games in Boston. But I don't know. They win in 7. Denver's better than Boston.
Home court, Boston ain't beating them.
Correct. Denver is better than Boston.
I mean, they ain't winning. They might
unless they change something. Okay. Unless the injury happens, unless they change something defensively, they add somebody off the G League team that can come in and help them. Like, as they're currently constructed, no, Boston cannot beat Denver.
No.
So there's no rant there. That's just Denver.
Is Denver going to be the 1 seed? We're going to discuss this all
in the West. Well, the injury, yes, I think the injury in Minnesota is gigantic.
Right.
So yes, I do think Denver winds up being the 1 seed.
Yeah, I do too. I went on last night with Ranieri and I wore the Denver stuff and I was like, Denver's going to win tonight. Pretty confident. Stick to your numbers. Like when you know your first thought was 5.
Yeah. And
when it came the other way, that means, well, either I'm really right or really wrong, but this is probably worthy of a bet. And it turned out good. But I watched it. Boston's got to figure something out. Let's just let's put it that way. Wait a second. I just looked down in the chat.
Jack threes.
Russell Wilson's not a Steeler. Is he? What's going on right now? He's just flying through, right?
So if you want a rant, here comes the rant.
Hold on. He stopped? I thought they were just flying through.
Oh no, he's meeting with your team right now.
And saying what?
I want to play with you.
Oh. What are we doing?
Oh no, Russell Wilson, his fly through was at New York with the Giants. That was the fly through.
Oh,
he's going to meet with your team.
York. He went to New York and just left and he came to Pittsburgh? Oh no. Oh no. Can this happen? Oh, come on. He met with the Giants briefly before heading to Pittsburgh. So he flew east to then fly back west? Oh,
Yeah.
no. Is he going somewhere else? You got to go somewhere else. No?
No.
Oh, this is it?
I mean,
Final destination?
in terms of teams who want him.
Oh. Come on, bro. What are we doing? What are we doing? Put it in the chat. If you're Steelers, do you want Russell Wilson? Yes or no? I already have my vote. No, I'm good. I'm good. That's it. Man, oh man. I don't want that. Are you texting? You got to answer that? No.
I'm not happy about that. So I'm just making that known.
Oh boy, I didn't see anything.
That I'm not happy about that text message. So
Oh.
Yeah, we'll see where we go. I don't know. I'm looking on Twitter right now. I'm trying to find any type of.
Oh geez. Oh wow, that's a nice surprise. Great.
Yeah. So I said, "Who's?"
Okay.
That's why I asked. That's why I asked the question I asked.
Put the poll up. Put the poll up because I'm going to vote no.
Okay.
I mean, like, who's going to vote yes to this?
What's the poll?
Do the Steelers want Russell Wilson? Yes or no?
Yes.
The Steelers want Russell Wilson. You would vote yes.
Yes.
I'm voting no.
I don't think he wants you.
It's him, not me.
Yeah, I think he will say no to you guys.
Say it's me, not you.
Right, because I think he's going to believe that he wants to be handed the starting position, and I don't believe that they're going to say that to Kenny Pickett that you're the backup.
Hell no, they're not.
They're going to say you can come in and compete. You want to compete, you win the job, it's yours. But if Pickett beats you, then he beats you.
He ain't going to go for that.
That's why I agree. I don't think he'll sign with the Steelers. I don't think he is signing anywhere unless he is guaranteed.
Wow. Raymaker Lou 512 said anything is better than Pickett. Pickett's trash.
See, there's a lot of people.
A lot of people think that way, huh?
So we'll see. We'll see how it all works out. But
just started his career.
As of right now, Russell Wilson is in Pittsburgh. He is not a Steeler, but he happens to just be in.
Think Sierra's going to like Pittsburgh?
I think she'll go anywhere.
Kids.
Yeah, I think that they'll be fine. They're living there temporarily anyway. They're not like permanent residents. You know, it's a quick stop for a year or two, and then they move on to somewhere else. Time for Better to Book. Has this game started yet with Belmont +1?
No.
Good. Okay. Belmont +1 against Northern Iowa. Better to book it.
Oh, yes, it did. We're 8 minutes left. You can bet it in game. It's 21-18.
Okay.
So Belmont's up 3.
Now 21-20.
Okay.
So
you can lay the same number right now.
Probably, yep.
You like Belmont?
I like Belmont +1 tonight. Yep.
Yeah, Jim did too. I think it's probably a bet.
Okay. Pepperdine's laying 1.5. It's 4 now.
Yeah, that's a bet.
Okay. And then finally, Bucks Lakers under 223.
What are you doing here with this? What's
Bucks are
going on?
they're just an under machine. Just riding the trend with the
Bucks are only -1.
Giannis out.
I'll say that you can bet this, but I'll throw Bucks -1 at you. Bet it or book it.
Wait a minute. That total is now 230.5.
Yes. Investigation time or no?
Hold on a second. Wait.
Yeah, you can't bet under 223 because it's 230.
Hold on.
230.
What just happened?
That was a kid's joke.
What
time is it when you go to the dentist?
Hold on. Wait. Hold on.
230.
Hold on. Yeah. So you're telling me that when the number opened up at 224.5.
You wrote this wrong. It was 234. It was never 223.
Did they flip it around? Because I haven't bet this yet, but
it was 234 last night.
My dyslexia popped in. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what happened on that. Okay, good. So how do we feel about 230 then? There we go.
It's an under. It's an under game, but the Bucks are. How do you feel about if I tell you Bucks -1?
Neither. I want the under. I want no part of this game.
Bet it or book it. I'm betting Bucks -1. Bet it or book it. Right back at you. What are you doing? You want the Lakers tonight against the Bucks?
No. but I want the under. I want no part of it.
Okay.
I want no part of it. None. I like the under in the game. It's let's see. From an under perspective, the Milwaukee Bucks on the road are 20-11-1 to the under.
20-11-1 to the under.
It's going to go down. Yeah. Covey, you can't put live numbers on the live chat. It doesn't really work like that. By the time someone goes and bets it, it's there.
Right. Oh, we're not that far behind.
It's gone. Far enough that you can't put it in the chat.
Bucks Lakers under 230. Yeah.
Super chat questions. There are 3 of them. Austin, NBA player props, 1.25 units, 0.125 units, round robin, and 1.25 units on the parlay for a total of 0.5. It's been great thoughts.
Wow. Austin, macaque.
Explain. Why don't you just make your unit size smaller? Why do 1.25?
No, you divided. It's 5 bets.
Okay.
For
a total of a half a unit.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, if you want the action, that's fine. Like it doesn't, the units don't matter.
I don't know, but isn't math just easier if you just lower your unit size and make it be a half a unit versus 1.25?
Well, the total units is a half a unit.
I know, but it's just you can if you're worried about betting too much, you don't want to invest all that much. Just lower your unit size and up the percentage of it. Just easier math. That's what I'm saying.
What do you mean? It's 12 cents a bet, 50 cents total.
Okay, right? Or do it for $1 and just make it 0.25.
That would make it a whole unit. That would make it a whole unit.
Right. So you're clearly afraid of betting. If your unit's $100, you're clearly afraid of betting $100 or $50 on this. So I'm just saying, if you raise it up, then you're betting less.
You raise it up, you're betting a whole half of a unit.
Correct.
What the hell are you talking about?
My point is the math. Okay, if you're worried about betting too much, you can lower the unit size and up the percentage, so you're betting less money.
You're not betting less money the way you're doing it.
No, because if your unit size is $100, right, make your unit size $25. So then now it's a $15 bet versus a $50 bet.
Yeah, that's what he did.
No, I'm still saying he's making it a $50 play. I'm saying making it a $15 play and just make the math easier. It's fine. But the question is, do you like this?
Do math. It's not that hard.
1.25 is a weird number to bet.
0.125
is a weird number to bet.
It's 50 cents.
Right.
Total risk.
Right.
And you divide it into 5 bets.
So do you like it? He wants to know how you feel about it.
I don't know what the bets are.
Right. I agree.
I don't have a clue.
Seriously, who's in charge of these rim jobs that March Madness is in trouble? Give us your favorite NBA prop tonight. I like that Valanciunas over the 7.5 rebounds, or was it 8.5 rebounds that James was talking about? I'm going to look to follow that. I like that a lot. I hit that last week when James put it. That was part of his picks last week that hit.
I'll have to look more into it. I'll try to come prepared for Sports Grid tonight with something maybe, but I was looking at the basketball and I was looking at the hockey for later.
And then JP says, I got nothing, fellas. F the Oilers. Bludgeoned me last night. Hoping the Avs don't do the same thing tonight. Have a great weekend. Thank you, JPC.
Yeah.
You're the man. Appreciate you doing that. Okay. Let's go. Favorite thing about today is what?
2 things. 1, spring break is officially started.
There's
complete chaos everywhere. We are doing shows all of next week.
We are.
We're not on spring break, but if you are, travel safe.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on the kids. Make it fun. Mine are going to Florida. I will be at home with the dog and doing other things. I can't wait actually to sleep without
freezing
anyone else. There'll be people in the house. I mean, Grandma and Papa aren't going.
But no freezing.
I'm not saying she might be watching the show right now. I'm not adjusting anything.
You got a week off. You got a week to adjust everything.
I'm not adjusting anything. All right.
Oh,
but
wow.
the temperature, yeah, I might be walking around naked.
Okay.
Because I can.
Yeah. Okay.
And
okay.
be comfortable. But
Okay.
the other thing I wanted to mention
Yes.
was this afternoon I'm going just keep it together here for a second, to pay my respects to a guy his name was Ronnie Real. I worked with him for a number of years in sports books, mainly out at the M. He passed away. He was 53 years old.
Oh.
He had a stroke 6 to 8 months ago, never recovered, and word got out amongst people that today's the day from this afternoon from 2 to 5. So I'm going to take a drive to the airport, and then I'm going to go and just sit with his family and commiserate with some people in the business. It's one of those things, like I don't have Facebook, but I got the message from somebody that does,
Right.
and it says, wishing our brother a heavenly birthday today. We miss you terribly already and cherish looking back at your baby photos. Thank you for all of the love, kind words, and warm thoughts in our hearts. We know Ron is being lifted in prayer. This was a guy who literally said to me, "You have kids?" Yeah. And he met the kids at one point. He was like, "You're never going to work Christmas. You're never going to work the nights. Like you need to be at home with your kids." We had bowling nights together. He was always there. He was the closing supervisor with a lot of responsibility at a book, but he always took the time for people. And he was like one of the coolest guys that I ever met and, worked with. He was an Eagles fan. So I don't have much time because we have to be back for the shows. So I'm going in an Eagles jersey to just go see his sisters. And I haven't seen his parents in years. I hope they're both there. But I just wanted to recognize him because, we got a lot of people that are going through a lot of stuff, and just be thankful for the stuff that you got, the people you got in your life, and, always appreciate the good, the bad, just waking up. That's it. Favorite thing about today.
That sucks. On a lighter note, my favorite thing about today, did you see what happened at the Bellagio fountains yesterday?
Did not.
So a bird,
Go
a bird went swimming though. A bird called a yellow-billed loon, one of the 10 most rarest of birds in the country, massively going extinct, rare, was taking refuge in the Bellagio fountains when the storm came through.
What?
And it wouldn't leave. So they stopped for 2 days. They turned the fountains off and they stopped doing the fountains.
Fountain show didn't run for 2 days because a bird was there?
Because a bird was in there, and they had to find where they were going to relocate it, find how they were going to get it. They got the bird out. They relocated the bird. But I thought that was pretty damn cool of Las Vegas, that one of the most photographed places in the world, the Bellagio fountains, got stopped because a bird was a loon. A yellow-billed loon. One of the 10 most rarest of birds.
Look this up.
Yeah. So it
I
stopped.
don't know what a loon looks like.
Kind of like a duck.
Really?
Bigger than a duck, but looks like a duck. Yeah. It's pretty big.
It's yellow?
Yellow billed. It's got a bill that's yellow.
Okay.
That there.
What color was the bird?
Looks like a duck, brown and white.
Wow. Okay.
So there you go. So my favorite thing about today was watching the people who were like there to watch the Bellagio fountains, and they're watching like a duck. And they're like, this is all off because of a duck. Like
that would be crazy. Like you're here for 2 days and you want to just see the fountain show. And you're like, no, they're not turning it on. Why? Because a bird is here.
Because that duck right there.
A loon.
That loon is right there in the water, so we can't turn the fountains on. Like the fountains everyone wants to see. Yeah, no, they can't. It'll scare the bird. They don't want to scare the bird.
That's amazing. I never heard of that in my life.
There you go. There is your light-hearted take to the weekend. Look up the yellow-billed bird, the yellow-billed loon.
I dress up like a loon tonight on the show.
Right. You'll get us in a couple of hours, folks. We're back on Sports Grid, 8 p.m. Pacific, Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific time for Dave and I doing live. You'll get it all again. Here we go. Part 2 of BVB. Thank you for being here, people. We appreciate it. We're back on Monday for another episode of BVB.
Push it real good.